network security, virtual private networks. In this video we are going to talk about VPNs, virtual private networks in general. We will try and define a VPN, why we should start using a VPN connection, and we'll try and answer a question: is it secure? The first question is, what is a VPN? We can say that a VPN, a virtual private network, is a network technology that allows us to set up a secure connection over a public network. For instance, the internet. That's the easiest definition I can come up with. As you can see on the screen, we have two sites, one in the United States, one in Taiwan. What we want to do, we want to send a message from PC1 to a server that is in the USA. The problem is that this is the internet. We know the internet is not secure. What do we mean by that? Well, we will go through, 50 or 60 ISPs, internet service providers. Anyone can, in theory, look at your message. And that's not what you want. You want to make sure that PC1 can download or send a message, doesn't matter, to or from this server in a secure way. What we mean by that is we want to make sure that nobody can look at our message, or to be more specific, cannot figure out what's inside, because we can't really do that. Just, your ISP, internet service provider, can in theory always look at your messages. The idea is to encrypt your traffic. We are going to talk about it later on. I don't want to get into details at this stage. We'll have a dedicated video or even two to encryption. Again, a virtual private network allows us to create a secure connection over a public network. That's the most common definition you can hear and see. We have two main types of VPNs. You will find that on the internet everywhere. People try and, group VPN connections. There are many different ways of doing that. I want to talk about two main types. It's a site-to-site VPN and a remote VPN connection. The first one is site-to-site VPN. This one, it is over here, and that's what we saw in the previous picture as well. It means we have two sites, two networks, two locations. We want to send a message from this network, from this site, to the other side in a secure way. To make it happen, we need a VPN connection that will be established between these two sites, not between these two PCs, in most cases between these two sites, using a dedicated device. It can be a router, it can be a firewall, it can be a VPN server. In most cases you will have a dedicated device. This PC over here, as far as this PC is concerned, it has no idea it's going through the VPN. Absolutely no idea. It thinks that, well, this PC is somewhere on my network, whatever, I don't really care. I can see I can reach that PC. That is a site-to-site VPN. Sometimes you will hear people call it LAN to LAN, or I think Microsoft like to call it router to router VPN. That is not a very popular term site-to-site VPN, LAN-to-LAN VPN. What we mean by that, this is LAN, local area network. Let's call it LAN 1. And this is local area network 2. We are going to connect these two sites, again, these two sites. We are going to connect them using VPN, but we are going through the internet. It's not a secure place. We don't trust people on the internet. That's why we need a site-to-site VPN. The second type of VPNs is a remote VPN. It is over here. And in this case, we are at home. What we want to do, we want to connect to a server that is over here. It can be our workplace, or let's say that is our office, whatever, or maybe you're in a hotel and you want to connect to your home network. This is a remote VPN connection. You have a laptop, you have a PC, you have a mobile phone, you want to VPN to this network. That's how we call it, to VPN. We can use that as a verb as well. We can VPN to this network. What it means is we are going to set up a secure connection, but this time between our laptop and our VPN device. Again, it can be a router, it can be a firewall, it can be a dedicated server with a piece of software running on it. It doesn't matter at this stage. The idea is that you are going to set up a tunnel, a VPN tunnel, a secure connection that will allow you to connect to these guys. And the last thing I want to discuss at this stage here with this slide is that when you VPN to this network, you will have this feeling that you are over here. That's the idea of VPNs in most cases. You will feel that you're actually connected to your main network. It feels like you were in the office. That's the idea. Of course, sometimes what you want to do, you want to tell that, well, sorry, if you VPN, you will not be allowed to access this server. I don't know, for some security reasons. I don't know. It can happen. It's not a very common solution, because if you can VPN, then you should get access to things that you use every day. Still, it can be achieved using, for instance, access list policies and so on. Again, site-to-site VPN and remote VPNs. We have a lot of VPN protocols, and we are going to discuss them later on. Now I want to mention that there are protocols that were designed to make VPN work. Yeah, we need something that will allow us to create this site-to-site VPN or a remote VPN tunnel, and we use dedicated protocols to make it work. As you can see on the screen, I listed 4, in my opinion, the most popular protocols. There are some other protocols, or you can group them again in many different ways. PPTP, L2TP, IPsec, and SSL. The first two, again, I will not get into details because we'll cover that later on. PPTP and L2TP, they are really popular because there is a client built into Windows. You don't need to download anything. That's easy. PPTP is not secure anymore. We should avoid using it. IPsec is really a standard for VPNs today. If possible, we should use IPsec and avoid using especially PPTP. L2TP can be combined with IPsec. SSL is a new flavor of VPN, if you wish, and I noticed that people have deployed a lot of SSL VPNs in the last couple of years. It has become really popular. I'm pretty sure you all go, okay, what is SSL VPN? It's like, just, what's that? Again, we'll have a dedicated video to SSL VPNs. The idea for an SSL VPN is to make your life easier and allow your users to connect to your network using a web browser. It means that they will open Firefox, Chrome, Internet Explorer, whatever browser they want. They will type an IP address or a name, let's say company.com/SSL, whatever name you dedicated to that service, and they can connect to the network. Awesome. You don't need a client, you don't have to set up anything. No, in a way, you browse the internet. And that's what your users love, because it is simple. As you probably know, all users know how to browse the internet, right? That's what they do. They go to Facebook, YouTube, whatever, Twitter. When you try and teach them how to use PPTP or, let's say, Cisco IPsec client, they say, that's really complicated, mate. When every time I show someone an SSL VPN option, they go, wow, that's it? Really? I just put my username and password. It's like going to Facebook, mate. Yes, it is very easy. You open a web browser, you can access your corporate network. Again, there will be a dedicated video to SSL, and we will discuss that in details, and I'm going to show you an SSL VPN, probably on an ASA Cisco firewall. Is it secure? Well, it all depends if you have set it up in the right way so far, and make sure that you go for the best protocol possible with the best options possible. We'll talk about encryption, authentication, options available for your VPNs, and what is the best available. However, sometimes it is not that easy. There is a chance that your device will not support IPsec VPNs, something that you should use. For instance, if you want to let's say you have a home network, yeah? You are a home user. Let me just show you that. What I mean. Let's say you are over here. That's the internet. That is your home router. Let's say, I don't know, Linksys. And this is your network. Let's say you have a server here, a NAS server, a very popular device that you want to access. Of course, there are many other ways available for you to access it. I will focus on VPN here. You want to VPN to your network, right? What's the problem? Well, the problem is that you will have to check if your device supports VPNs at all. There is a big chance it's not an option. If you bought a router for, I don't know, £40, do not expect any VPN options on it. At all. Do not expect that. You have to pay much more to have PPTP. That's the basic VPN. Not sure if you remember, we discussed that a few minutes ago. If you want to have something better like SSL, do you remember, the web browser-based VPN, or IPsec, well, that is £100. Of course, there is a way around. We can use OpenVPN, we can use, for instance, for Linksys routers, we can use an alternative firmware image. Still, if you want to go for VPNs, you will have to invest some money. That's the only way to make it happen. Of course, there are options that I prepared a lab for you, TeamViewer. There are some free options available for you, but believe me, if you want to use that every day and it is a serious project and you want to have a reliable connection, you will go for a piece of hardware. You will have a dedicated router, a dedicated firewall, or a dedicated server, a Microsoft server, a Linux server, if you know how to use it. You will have a dedicated device that will be responsible for connecting for your VPNs. In this video, we talked about virtual private networks in general. We discussed VPNs. I answered the question, why should I start using a VPN? And we mentioned a few things about the security aspects of VPNs. Thank you very much.